Deathwalker's footpads, come on.
So can you guys give me like a timeline of like how this whole guild went and who this draft guy is?
Yeah, I like that too.
So, given that I'm normally the best storyteller because I throw in the dankest of memes.
Please.
Wait. So
I
you
like
have
bad
to
memes.
make it like extra epic because I'm recording Raid tonight.
No, because then I'm on record saying these things.
Oh man.
But nah, what was it? Fucking. I want to say what, like a month into Emerald Nightmare? We formed. And it was me, Clouded, who's the GM, Drav, and his brother Lumber. I think one or two people broke off of an old guild because Clouded was an officer, and there was another officer who was an elitist douchebag. Like to give you an idea of this dude, he got mad at people for not having high enough artifact power when he exploited to get his artifact power high.
So he's mad at people for not exploiting.
Exactly.
Reasonable.
I'm pretty mad
And
about
then
that.
pretty much we went through Emerald Nightmare, like picking up a couple people, losing a couple people. It was kind of slow. TOV we picked up Nep, Raz, and Laka. And Raz was like he identified as a tank but wasn't really a tank, and then I taught him the way of Fury, and then he never looked back.
He identified as a tank and then immediately stopped tanking.
Yeah, after I showed him how to like, okay, this is to give you the mindset. He came into raid one time. We were going to do heroic Elia, and he came in arms, shit talking me, saying that he was gonna beat my dick in. After two
With
polls,
those-
and I was 200k ahead of him, he's like, teach me how to Fury.
I remember that. That shit was hilarious.
And by the end of the night, he was top 5 DPS, beating people. After I taught him how to play Fury in one night, and he was already beating people. That should give you an idea of how bad some of the people in the guild were. Now Drav, this mage, who all he does is do world quests all day.
He's
and farm
played
all day.
mage since like vanilla.
Yeah, he's only played mage ever. Like I think at one point in Wrath he tanked as a druid, but otherwise he's only played mage. But he had 54 traits before like some of us even had like 30, and he was still like bottom DPS.
Well, of course.
And I leveled up my mage and geared him out to raid just so that I can learn the class just to teach him. And it would only work for a little bit. And beat him, yes. We had another raid mage tune named Raloon, who was basically like a slightly better Drav, and I beat them both in like half the gear.
Well, Raloon wanted to play Arcane before Arcane had the gear to play Arcane.
Yeah.
Right.
Then TOV, I think, because we were a weekend raiding guild, around Christmas and New Year's we took like 2-3 weeks off. Which actually coming back from that 2-3 weeks, we thought we were gonna have to disband the guild because we didn't hear from nobody. Like we only heard from like 5 people. We only knew 5 people were coming to raid.
When was this?
Beginning of the year.
Yeah, like
because with
December.
because of the holidays, no one was getting out. Like we just said, take the next 2 weeks off. And then luckily like 13 people showed up, and I think we ended up killing Heroic Helia that weekend.
Wow.
And we pretty much just did farm shit.
After one person quit because we weren't like getting progress and shit, and he was just he was just done with the game. So we
who was
killed
that?
Helia. Glitter. So we killed Helia in honor of him.
Glitter, don't get me started on Glitter. We'd be here all night.
2, 1.
You gotta finish your story, Zolt.
It's my interest now.
I have to DPS. I can't DPS in time, but then it was kind of quiet until fucking Nighthold. I don't think anything major happened towards the end. We recruited a fucking demon hunter and a rogue that were fucking like their dicks were inside each other 24/7, but they were good players. Like I liked them.
Wait, what do you mean?
They literally did everything together. Like they were both married and had families, but I'm pretty sure secretly they were both gay lovers. I mean,
Probably.
it wouldn't surprise me.
Like I someone asked, like,
But,
how do you do something like this?
They were both really like elitist, and that's where problems started arising. Because they didn't like Tech and Vi. And the one
And
had a
me?
tank with Tech. Yeah, they didn't
They
like
didn't
either. No.
Wow.
What did
I
I do?
didn't know that.
Oh, me kidding.
Because Vi, sometimes you have a tone of voice that comes across that like yeah.
You're
So
a
they didn't like
teacher,
that.
Vaughn. You're a teacher.
Yeah, like they thought that like you were being like a big bitch, and I was like, like you're not doing anything. Like that's just Vi, but
I mean, they were giant cunts, so what you gonna do?
yeah. So then pretty much
Oh, damn it.
every week they were
Learning all these
complaining shit. See, I knew all this because I used to run a lot of Mythic Plus with them, because you know they'd carry me. And pretty much everything was just kind of going meh. We were trying to do Mythic, couldn't get enough people to do Mythic.
Run out. Keep moving.
Huh.
Then this rogue, and what happened was we were finally progressing on Ghoul Daddy. We had 10 minutes left to raid, and we were like, okay, we'll get like a couple pulls on Gul'dan, you know, get to know the fight, you know, so that we can come in the next day
Keep moving.
ready to go. So I think the first pull we got to like 45%, so we almost pushed phase 3 first pull. So we're like, okay, we're gonna, you know, do one more pull, and a certain bear tank who's now a monk tank decided not to flask,
Oh my lord.
and
I
the
forgot about
rogue
this.
and demon hunter decided to implode because of said no flask. And the next night they MIA'd and didn't say anything and just didn't log on. Like they were all on, like they both were on like an hour before raid, and then they didn't show. So we went another week without killing Gul'dan because we lost one of our main
out.
tanks.
Keep moving.
Yeah, the Demon
Yeah.
Hunter was a tank.
Yeah, Demon Hunter was one of the tanks, and the Rogue was one of our top DPS.
You know what
Like
they
he-
did that night they went missing?
They went
Oh.
They docked each
butt
other.
fucked
Totally,
each
yeah.
other.
They put on some Lana Del Rey, got a bottle of wine, and they docked.
And then
They probably got
Definitely.
there was a huge kerfunkle thingy with Tekken and Clouded because of said flask issues. Lots of yelling. I was there. It wasn't fun. Should we just ignore that?
Yeah.
It wasn't very fun to be in that Discord channel when they were going at it.
and then the next week when we did it again, and then me and Vi quit.
No, next week this is even danger. We were doing Heroic Elephant and we were having issues about something.
I pulled the boss away at the end, and everyone wiped because I wanted to go interrupt the adders and shit.
Yeah,
And I
and
got-
so then
I got told, "Don't be a fucking hero."
no, you got told something and his
No,
response.
I got told, "Don't be a fucking hero."
Maybe I don't remember exactly,
And
but
I was like, "Do you want a tank?" And
Yeah.
then it just exploded from there.
he asked him if he wanted a tank, and then it went off from there. So then Tacken left for the night. Which at that point I'm like,
No,
Tacken's
I
never
got
coming
kicked
back.
for the night.
Yeah, he
I
got
got
kicked
to
for
get
the
the
night.
fuck out of my raid.
Yeah. Which at that point I'm like, Tacken's never coming back, and I still see your raid, and I'm like, what? This is like the most awkward shit ever. Like we just kicked her boyfriend, and she's just sitting here silently, just raiding. So then the next night, Tacken showed up, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then after that, I think it was like Monday.
It was like
Tacken
like Monday or Tuesday. Me and Vi were like, "Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
stop raiding." Like,
He
whatever.
was fucking
And it was,
pissed all the
it was fine, and it was
Which-
all fine.
Yeah, which I mean, we knew it was coming. Like we already knew. Like I think it was Clouded said, like messaged me and Lumber, like that after raid last night. He's like, expect Vi and this and Tacken and Vi to be there last week, because we could tell that like you guys, at least you Tacken, like I think you were playing Marvels all the time.
Yeah,
Like me right now, where I barely play the game anymore.
yeah.
And then so then we we went a week trying out a tank, and we had this tank from fucking Alaska that was drunk out of his mind and couldn't do mechanics, and it was hilarious. And then we got up to Gul'dan with him Saturday, and then Sunday we didn't take him because he was drunk. And we were doing Gul'dan for 2 hours wiping, and people were dying of stupid shit. Like people were dying to the fell shit in phase 1. Like people were dying in phase 1 for no reason. After 2 hours of this, Clouded, who's the raid leader and GM, mind you, we had 3 or 4 trials in the raid.
Did he kick Taka that one?
No.
No, Tekton was already gone. He alt
No, but,
F4s, leaves Discord, then 5 minutes later, message on Discord saying, "I'm going out to get ice cream."
Hence,
And-
Ice Cream Man.
And at that moment, the guild completely died because I left. And once I left, pretty much everyone else left because, you know.
Yeah, Nep and Laka were both the main healers. They like 2-healed Gul'dan and shit, and like when they got him down and all this stuff, and then
I forgot about that.
yeah, and where was I going with this? Oh, fucking that weekend when he went to go get ice cream, it was like a day or two later. Nep grabbed me, him, Laka or Ios, Pex, Viri, and like Vi, and I think that was it. I was just like, hey, we should just start our own guild. I was like, all right, sure. And then that turned into me stealing everybody from the guild, and all this other shit.
You skipped the reason why Locke and I actually left the guild in the first place.
That was all on you guys, so I'm not
I forgot
even
about
gonna-
that.
I had mentioned something to Clouded one day in jest, like I was just joking around with him about playing the game. He was like, well, maybe you should get up off your ass and go get a job.
Oh wow.
And for those of you that don't know, I have seizures, so I can't work at the moment. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to, but you know, I can't, it's seizures. And he was like, well, you should stop using that as, you know, the pity card. You should just stop having seizures. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, I'd love to. That'd be real great.
Whereas
I'll
if
get right
you
on
know him, he also does nothing but sit on his fucking ass and actually